They build these monuments thinking they'll last forever. But to me, this whole city is just going to be dust by tomorrow. Watching all the generations flashing in the street, a million heavy lifetimes playing out beneath my feet. They measure out their hours trying hard to leave a mark, but they burn out like a matchbook in a heavy urban dark. I remember when this concrete wasn't in this flooded plain. I remember watching centuries of harvest in the rain. Now the iron towers rising far before I catch my breath, living in a metropolis that's rushing toward its death. Got an ancient heavy heartbeat ticking slower than a stone. Outliving everybody means you always die alone. Let the deep bass rattle, let the ticking play, watching all the neon empire slowly wash away. I'm a heavy town, creature standing at the brink, waiting for the city to be over in a blink. Yeah, just over in a blink. Yeah, just over in a blink. Yeah, can't afford to love them cause they fade away too fast. Living in the future that is built upon my past, burying the memories of the tall and swaying green underneath the wiring of a temporary machine. They look at me like I'm a stranger walking through the cold. They don't know the legend is 1,000 lifetimes old. Ain't no need for crying tales, take way too long to fall. Just a mythic shadow watching humans build a wall. Let the deep sub-bass carry all the truth afar. Just an immortal wanderer looking for a missing star. So let the deep bass rattle, let the ticking play, watching all the neon empire slowly wash away. I'm a heavy timeless creature standing at the brink, waiting for the city to be over in a blink. Yeah, just over in a blink. Take a deep bass rattle, take a deep breath of the ages in the dust, waiting out the iron till it turns into the worst. It's an isolating silence, knowing how the story ends. A monster made of memories without a single friend. Yeah. Take a deep breath of the ages in the dust, waiting out the iron till it turns into the rust. It's an isolating silence, knowing how the story ends. A monster made of memories without a single friend. Yeah, like the decades wash away. Just a heavy ticking clock now, just a slow drum, just a bang. They build these monuments thinking they'll last forever, watching all the generations flashing in the street. Yeah, they build these monuments thinking they build these monuments. They build these monuments thinking they build these monuments. Watching all the generations flashing in the street, watching all the generations, watching all the generations flashing in the street. Yeah, watching all the generations flashing in the street, watching all the generations, watching all the generations just flashing in the street, watching all the generations. Watching all the generations flashing. the street, watching all the generations flashing in the street, watching all the generations flashing in the street. So many lights, but I can't see a thing. I trade every neon sign just to see the sun set over the patties one more time. Yeah, so many lights, but I can't see a thing. I trade every neon sign just to see the sun set over the patties one more time. Yeah. Walking through the market in the freezing midnight damn, standing in the flicker of a buzzing halogen lamp. Shadows moving past me like they're running out of time. Living in a city where the silence is a crime. I close my eyes and try to feel the warm unpaved earth, wondering what this heavy concrete loneliness is worth. Missing how the wind would bend the green stalks in a wave. Now I'm walking pavement that just feels like a grave. Every single footstep gets swallowed by the crowd. Living in the metropolis, screaming out loud. Let the deep bass rattle, let the piano play. Everything around me is a blur of heavy gray. Millions of faces, but I cannot see a friend. Wishing I was back where the rural roads been, yeah, where the rural roads been, yeah. Sirens in the distance, cutting through the heavy air. Looking at the strangers who don't even know I'm there. Remembering the harvest and the water reflecting sky. Now it's only puddles catching taxis rolling by. Towers made of iron scraping up against the moon. Living in a rhythm that is totally out of tune. Ain't no need for crying tears, just mixing to the rain. Just a lonely silhouette carrying the pain. Let the deep sound bass carry all the hurt and fall. Just a fragile wanderer looking for a missing star. So let the deep bass rattle, let the piano play. Everything around me is a blur of heavy gray. Millions of faces, but I cannot see a friend. Wishing I was back where the rural roads been, yeah, where the rural roads been. Take a deep breath of the exhaust and the dust. Riding on the rail made of memories and trust. It's an isolating, sad, it's heavy and profound. Falling for the quiet of the flooded, open ground. The electric piano now, just a heavy bass. It's all a blur, just a heavy blur. It's all a blur, just a heavy blur. So many lights, 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 so many lights. So many lights, so many lights, So many lies. They build these walls so high, the sunlight doesn't even reach the bottom. It's a long way from the open field. They build these walls so high, the sunlight doesn't even reach the bottom. It's a long way from the open field. Looking down the edge of a concrete heavy drop, living in a machine where the gears will never stop. Towers made of iron scraping up against the moon, breathing in the exhaust of a heavy afternoon. I can still remember how the flooded patty shined back before I left the open quiet world behind. Missing how the water used to mirror up the sky. Now I'm watching thousands of umbrellas rushing by. Every single footstep beats swaddled by the street, surrounded by the millions that I'm never gonna meet. Let the deep bass rattle, let the cello play, standing at the edge of the heavy city gray, looking down the chasm where the neon rivers bend. Just a lonely woman waiting for the dark to end. Yeah, waiting for the dark to end. Sirens in the distance, echoing against the glass, watching all the hurried, heavy shadows walking past. Remembering the harvest and the mud upon my feet. Now it's only pavement and a bitter current of sweet. Flashing signs are buzzing like a hornet in the night, blinding out the beauty of the natural fading light. Ain't no need for crying tears to just dry up in the cold. Living in a brand new world but feeling tired and old. Let the deep sub bass carry all the hurt of fire, just a fragile wanderer looking for a missing star. So let the deep bass rattle, let the cello play, standing at the edge of the heavy city gray, looking down the chasm where the neon rivers bend. Just a lonely woman waiting for the dark to end. Yeah, waiting for the dark to end. Take a deep breath of the ozone and the dust, holding on to memories of quiet and of trust. It's an isolated sadness, heavy and profound, only for the quiet of the open, muddy ground. Let the skyline wash away. Just a long for cello net, just a heady bass. Lost in the chasm, just faded away. Just a night for cello. Take a deep bass still. Just a night for cello. Take a deep bass still. Taking down, 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 down the baby, deep bass rattle. They built these walls so high. They built these walls so high. They built these walls so high. Yeah. A million people hitting their marks, and I'm just up here writing their dialogue. Watching from the window on the 22nd floor, framing up the strangers walking through the lobby door, giving them a backstory, giving them a name. Watching how the streetlights wash them in the yellow flame. Couple on the corner arguing in the pouring rain. I can guess the lines they used to hide away the pain. Typing out the tragedies that happen in the street, drafting up the endings for the people I won't meet. Every single window is a movie on the screen, and I'm just the invisible director of the scene. Let the deep bass rattle, let the keyboard play, writing everyone a story while I fade away. I can give them perfect lines, I can make them free, but nobody's writing any dialogue for me. Yeah, nobody's writing for me. Yeah, nobody's writing for me. Plotting up a narrative of taxis rolling by, finding all the motives in the heavy, smoggy sky, putting all the strangers into perfect, tidy arcs, watching them collide like tiny, disconnected sparks. Living in the margins of a heavy concrete book, knowing every angle, knowing everywhere to look. Ain't no need for crying tears will only blur the lens. I'm just waiting up to see how everybody ends. Let the deep sub bass carry all the hurt afar. I can rake the sky, but I can never touch a star. So let the deep bass rattle, let the keyboard play, writing everyone a story while I fade away. I can give them perfect lines, I can make them free, but nobody's writing any dialogue for me. Yeah, nobody is writing for me. Take a deep breath of ink in the glow, watching all the characters who have somewhere to go. Tonight's a leg inside his DM, time behind the blast, watching all the beautiful and broken moments pass. Let the credits finally roll. Just a moody synth pad now, just a heavy bass, just a rough draft fading away. Just a rough The noise never actually stops. It just buries the quiet I used to know. Listen to the rumble in the floorboards at my feet, looking at the river of umbrellas on the street. Towers made of iron blocking out the morning sun, wondering what I've lost and wondering what I've actually done. I can almost feel the muddy water on my skin, like before this heavy concrete journey could begin. Now my boots are walking over miles of heavy stone, surrounded by the millions but completely on my own. Every flashing neon sign is bleeding in the rain, trying to find a way to wash away the urban pain. Let the deep bass rattle, let the cello cry, fading in the shadows underneath the smoggy sky. Millions of voices, but I cannot hear a sound, wishing I was walking on the open, flooded ground. Yeah, the open, flooded ground. Sirens in the distance, wrapping tight around my chest. Living in a metropolis that never lets you rest. Remembering the harvest and the green stalks blowing free. Now it's only paved and stretching out in front of me. Photos on the crosswalk, catching taxis rolling by. Nothing like the terraces reflecting up the sky. No need for crying tears, just mixing to the gray. Just a lonely silhouette washing down the drain today. Let the deep sub bass carry all the hurt afar. Just a father wander world looking for a missing star. So let the deep bass rattle, let the cello cry, fading in the shadows underneath the smoggy sky. Millions of voices, but I cannot hear a sound, wishing I was walking on the open regrets of he always owning the dust. Riding on a rail made of memories and rest. It's an isolated sadness, heavy and profound, longing for the quiet where the roots are buried down. Yeah, let the skyline wash away. Just a mournful tale now, just the happy face. They fading out, just fading away, just fading away. The noise never actually stops. It just buries the quiet I used to know.